Hi everyone, welcome back to another flashlight video. This time a new company reached out to the channel. Wuben was kind enough to reach out to the channel here and send their new X4, which is a compact and multi-function EDC flashlight that is just packed with features and unique capabilities. And it's probably now my new favorite EDC flashlight that I've reviewed in 2025. So this thing is just awesome, just packed with all kinds of features and capabilities. You're definitely going to want to stick around and learn all the details and information on this light. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and show you what you get in the box. Went ahead and unbox everything to save time. You do get a nice lanyard with a Wuben X4, and it is adjustable. You do get a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, as this is USB-C rechargeable. And you do get the user manual for the Wuben X4. Now, as I normally do, I'll put all the pictures of the user manual up on the screen here for you, but I'm going to do that a little bit later in the video after the opening segment here, as there are 7 pages, but I'll quickly flash those 7 pages on the screen a little bit later, just before we get to the user interface portion of the video. So I'll put that up here for you guys. All right, so let's talk about the Wuben X4 and take a look at it while we're talking about the specs and everything on this flashlight. Now, there's 2 white light sources on the Wuben X4. You got the main LED here, and you also have a side LED, white LED. So let's talk about the main LED. So you have 4 Lumen Pioneer W2016S J4 LEDs, capable of up to 1500 lumens. Now these 4 LEDs is a combination of flood and spot beams, so giving you a good all-around beam on this flashlight. So a multi-use beam on this flashlight. You got throw and flood all in one beam. And then you do have the side light. Now this has 6 warm white LEDs at 4000 Kelvin, which is really nice. As you know, the warm light or warm white temperature, color temperature, has less blue in it, so it won't negatively affect your sleep at night. So if you look into your circadian rhythm, a lot of lights that have blue light can negatively affect your vision at night. So the side light's really nice. It's warm white and 4000 Kelvin, making it very good and very versatile for many different uses. Now, besides the warm white, and this is adjustable with this rotary dial, all the way up to from 1 to 100 lumens, and a max runtime of 720 hours at 1 lumen. Now, you also have 7 different selectable RGB color modes in this. So you can use the rotary dial here to select different RGB colors. There's 7 different RGB colors. So really, really cool here on the Wuben. And you also have varying beaking and flashing modes with this light. So just a flash warning real quick. So you can flash as a beacon any one of those 7 colors. So really cool there. And then you also have emergency signaling and safety. So another flash warning here. And you can change the colors on this beacon. So very nice. We'll go through that on how to use all those in the UI here coming up here shortly. So the ambient lighting for the art, you got various flashing and beaking and signaling modes with the Wuben X4. Good for ambient lighting plus visibility and safety, which is really, really cool. All in one flashlight. I really like that. Now the Wuben X4 has 4 ways to control and access its various lighting modes. So you have the mode selection switch here. And if you can see right now, it's in the lock position. That's side light mode, main light mode, and moonlight mode. And also when it's in moonlight mode, it exposes the USB-C charging port. So we'll talk about that here in a moment. You also have the main button here to turn it on and off and adjust some varying features of the light. And you have that rotary dial. And you also have a magnetic tail and a tail switch, not a magnetic tail switch, but a tail switch here. So a tactical tail switch. So those are the 4 ways to operate and use the Wuben X4. Now the Wuben X4 is made of an all-metal aluminum alloy. So it's an all-metal body. So very nice, very sturdy there. The X4 is available in white, as you see here, gray and black. The Wuben X4 has fast USB-C charging. As I showed you the port here, it charges at 5 volts, 2.4 amps, and can be fully charged in 2.5 hours. So very, very good there. Now, the Wuben X4 is powered by a Wuben 18650 rechargeable lithium-ion battery. And it has a little locking mode here on the side, so you can lock it or unlock it. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock it. And you just push this button, and it just pops right out. And you can see the Wuben X4 battery. This is a 3,350 milliamp hour capacity battery, so very nice. And the Wuben X4 does have reverse polarity protection, so in case you put the battery in backwards, you won't fry the flashlight. Sorry about the autofocus here, though. Even though you do have this indicator how to properly put the battery in, but should you be in a rush or whatever and actually insert it incorrectly, you won't destroy the flashlight, so very good there. The X4 does have a battery charging and battery level indicator light, which is on the side here where the side lighting is. So when charging it, you'll have a red charging, and blue, it means it's charged. Now, when you're in side light mode or main light mode, if you hold the button down for a few moments, it's going to show you the battery level status. So solid blue means your battery's between 90 and 100%. If it's flashing blue, battery's between 40 and 90%. Solid red, battery's between 15 and 40%. And flashing red, your battery's between 0 and 15%. The Wuben X4 is IP68 waterproof and is 1 meter impact resistant. Now, the Wuben X4 has several hands-free ways of using it. As I showed you, it has a magnetic tail, it has a clip, and you can tail stand it. So you can tail stand it in an emergency as lighting as a lantern and just aim it at the ceiling. So I always like, as you see in many of my videos, that when you can tail stand a flashlight, to be able to use it as a lantern. Now, I'll put a clip on here or a picture in here. You can also use this as a headlamp. So if you attach this to your ball cap, you can actually attach it to your ball cap and use it as a headlamp too. So many ways to use the Wuben X4, definitely. And you also have some other optional accessories. The Wuben X4, you have a bike mount and a red and yellow diffusers. So if you want those, you can purchase those separately. Now let's get into the outputs here on the Wuben X4. And I'll put this on screen real quick. So the main light, you can select between 1500 lumens all the way down to 5 lumens. And you have run times of 3 hours at max and 285 hours at 5 lumens. The max throw of the main light's 205 meters, and the max beam intensity is 10,506 candela. All right, so the side light, white light mode, you can select between 100 lumens and 1 lumens. At 100 lumens, it'll run for about 8 hours, and again, at 1 lumen, run for 720 hours. The RGB lights, so you have 7 different RGB colors. They're at 10 lumens, they'll run for 70 hours. If you put them into a beacon, in other words, you're flashing one of those 7 RGB colors, it's again 10 lumens, 350 hours of runtime. And if you're using one of those signaling emergency modes, which will flash red and blue, red and green, or red and yellow, it's 10 lumens and it'll run for 185 hours. Now, I've tested this outside. It is very bright, even from 100 feet away. The signaling light on this, even though it's only 10 lumens, it's very bright. So it's definitely very visible from quite a distance. So you're going to see that quite clearly. So it's very, very good. All right, the dimensions real quick on the X4. So it's 95.75 millimeters in length, or 3.77 inches, 37.33 millimeters, or 1.47 inches in width, and it has a weight of 89.7 grams, or 3.16 ounces. All right, we're going to get the UI, or user interface, next on the Wuben X4, and I'll go ahead and flash the user manual on the screen here as we transfer to the UI. So get ready for that coming up next. Okay, the UI, or user interface, on the Wuben X4. So first we're going to start out with the main light mode. So you're going to take the mode selection switch here, and you're going to bump it up. The first one is side switch, and then the main light mode. So once you're in main light mode, to turn the light on, you simply press the button here. Turns it on. And to adjust your brightness, you just use the rotary dial to adjust it up. And once it hits the max brightness, it will flash really quick to let you know it's in the max brightness. And if you rotate the opposite way, it will flash once again when it's in the lowest setting or mode, or brightness level, I should say. This does have memory, so if you ramp it up a little bit, turn it off, turn it back on, it does have memory. If you want to instantly access turbo in this mode, you just double press the button. You go instantly to turbo, and if you double press it again, it'll go right back to its previous setting, so it does remember its previous setting. I'm going to rotate it back down to the lowest setting here. Okay, so next thing we want to talk about is the tactical tail switch and instant access to turbo. So when the Wuben X4 is either in side light mode or main light mode, you have access to instant turbo with a tail switch, and very nice, just point and shoot. So I really like tactical tail switches on flashlights. You can either point and shoot or hold it down as much as you need, so very nice. Makes it very easy to check out things really quickly. All right, strobe. So this is a strobe warning. To access the strobe, again, the flashlight mode has to be in side light or main light mode, and you just double press. So again, strobe warning, the tail switch, and you go instantly into strobe. And this can be very good as it's very disorienting for self-defense. It does seem to have an alternating flash pattern. So we'll turn that off. So very nice, a very good way to have a defensive tool in your pocket at all times, the Wuben X4. All right, so let's go into side switch, or the side light modes. So I put the selector in the side light mode, so you just press the button here once. And depending on what mode you were last in, it will remember that. So right now we're in the side light white light mode. This is a warm white, 4000 Kelvin. And to adjust the brightness, you just simply rotate the dial up. It does the same thing as the main light mode. When it gets to the brightest setting, it will flash. Again, that's 100 lumens. And if you rotate it opposite the other way, it'll flash once again to let you know it's in the lowest mode at 1 lumens. And remember, at 1 lumens, it'll run for 720 hours. And even at the highest, 100 lumens, it'll run for 8 hours. So very nice there. All right, so to access the RGB light mode, you just hold it down while you're in the white light mode. You get to the RGB colors. Right now we're in green. You just rotate that dial, yellow, red, pink, blue. We'll put it back to green. Now, if you want to use the beacon in any one of those colors, you just, once you've selected the color, again, flash warning, you just double click. And now you got the beacon mode in any color you desire of the 7 RGB colors. And this is, again, 10 lumens, 350 hours of runtime. All right, so that's the beacon mode and RGB modes. Now, if you want to get to the emergency signaling mode, when you're in side light mode, you just double click the main button. So this is a flash warning. Right now it's flashing red and green. And if you want to change the color, you just double press it again. Now you got red and yellow. Double press again, you got red and blue. Just again, make sure you check your laws, make sure you're legal when using any of these flash modes wherever you are. So very good. We'll put it back to red and green. Now this is 10 lumens and 185 hours of runtime. And, 10 lumens doesn't sound like it's very bright, but I've tested it outside at over 100 feet away. This is very bright. It's definitely going to get people's attentions and great for what its main purpose is, signaling, either for emergency or just to warn people that you're there or not to run into you, these kinds of things. So very good there. All right, now, real quick, I just wanted to show this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the beginning part of the video. So to check the battery status, the light has to be either in side light mode or main light mode. And you just hold down the button and it'll show you the battery status. Well, again, solid blue means the battery is between 90 and 100%. It'll stay on for a few seconds. So I just want to make sure I showed that. And also charging, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. So if you put the mode all the way into moonlight, it exposes the USB-C charging port. And when you're charging it, it'll be solid red while charging and solid blue when it is fully charged. Now in moonlight mode, which we're in now, to turn on the moonlight mode, you got 2 different ways you can do that. You can use the main switch here to turn it on and off. Again, 5 lumens. And you can also use the tactical tail switch to turn moonlight mode on in that mode. So you won't have access to instant turbo in moonlight mode. You can only basically turn it on and off with a tactical tail switch. Tactical tail switch, if you want turbo instantly, you have to be side light mode or main light mode. So, but pretty easy to figure out. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. All right, so that's the Wuben X4 UI. Let's go ahead and take the Wuben X4 outside and just see how it does outside in the dark. This is the Wuben X4 side light on white light mode at 1 lumen, good for 720 hours, lighting up our desk with a keyboard. And then if I brighten it up, it says it's full brightness, 100 lumens. Brights up everything really well on the desk. Okay, the Wuben X4, just showing its different RGB color modes. So right now we're in green. This is like a yellow. Almost looks white on camera, but it's actually yellow. It's like an orange. So if you want some ambient color lighting, you can do this with the Wuben X4. Now you got red. Kind of this like violet or purple, pinkish color. Definitely blue. It's kind of like a teal color. And we're back to green. So those are the ambient RGB color modes of the Wuben X4 side light. Okay, this is the Wuben X4's emergency signaling beacon, flashing red and green. I'm 100 feet away from it right now, and I can tell you it looks much brighter with the naked eye than it does on camera, but I'm doing my best to show you what this looks like. I'm going to walk towards it here. I'll watch out for a plant. So you can see it's pretty bright. It's pretty effective as a signaling beacon from quite a distance. So I started out 100 feet away, so doing really well. It's very bright, very long run time with a signaling beacon too. This is the Wuben X4 and its lowest mode on the main light, 5 lumens. Lights up the kitchen pretty well, and you can just rotate that dial to adjust the brightness. So if I need a little bit more light, I can just dial it up a little bit. Working really well. You can use it definitely as a lantern. Okay, the night has finally come and we're outside here with the Wuben X4. And as you should have seen in the earlier 2 video clips here, I showed the side light mode inside the house, and I also showed how you could use the Wuben X4 as a lantern in an emergency in case you lose power and need light, and how you can use that magnetic tail to stick it up to, like I did in the range in the kitchen. So a very versatile light, has lots of features, and you saw the emergency signaling mode flashing red and green there from over 100 feet away. And like I said, the camera doesn't do it justice. You can definitely see it quite well with the naked eye. So I did my best to kind of show how that would look on camera, but the camera just does not pick it up like it does your eye. So it's very bright and definitely gets your attention from at least 100 plus feet away. So anyway, we're in the main light for the Wuben X4, the main front light here, and we're going to start out in low, 5 lumens. So remember, this light has 205 meters of throw, but it has a very nice all-around beam, so you got spotlight and floodlight in this light. So this is 5 lumens, so 5 lumens, 285 hours of runtime, and I can see quite well. So if I was in a fairly familiar area, I could walk around quite easily with this. I'm going to aim the camera up a little bit more. You can see the bird bath there. That bird bath is about 30 feet away from me. So again, 5 lumens from the Wuben X4 doing really well. In fact, I can basically almost see the tree line out there. Hard to see it on camera, but you can make it out. Now you got that rotary dial, so if I just up it up a little bit, let me see if I'm going the right way. There we go. So I'm just going to slowly increase it a little bit. So you can see it's definitely making out that tree line there. There's the tree stump right out there, 100 feet away. That's where I had the chair with the signaling beacon and flashing red and green there. So definitely doing a nice job. Aiming the camera up a little bit more. And that was you just bumping up a little bit, so we'll put it into turbo here. And I'll take a walk out there. Very bright, 1500 lumens. Again, nice all-around beam. You got a lot of spotlight and floodlight in this light. All right, so that's the Wuben X4. I walked out there with its full turbo 1500 lumens, and I dropped it down a little bit walking back just so you can see how you can adjust the light on the fly as you need it with that rotary dial. So I want to say a big thank you to Wuben for sending out the X4 here to the channel. There will be product links for purchase links and possibly a coupon code in the description, so check those out. Really appreciate it. You guys, thank you for joining me for another flashlight video, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy lumens and take care.
Darling, I've been tempted by the darkness.